Good evening. This is Kronos Lank, your host and dungeon master.
Guards. Did you say guards?
Welcome. Here, let me take your bags. Dreary weather we're having, wouldn't you say? No need for a tip. Love of the job is what keeps this ticker talking. Only trouble is this blasted backache. Bend your knees, they say. Lift with your legs, they say. Bullshit! In my day, it was all lower back. We bent from the waist, a full 95 degrees. Kept our legs straight as rulers, kneecaps just ready to snap. And we lifted. We didn't complain. No, me and the other bellboys, we did our job. Relied on each other, too. Got off the streets, rolled the dice, and took a chance on this place. The old manager took a chance when he hired us. We were a scruffy ragtag group of luggage boys, but we would become real-life gentlemen who served guests with grace, dignity, and respect. Welcome to the Drop-By D&D Hotel. Hope you enjoy your stay. We didn't just say it. We said it with feeling. This was more than a job to us. This hotel was a home. Is my home. I'm the only one left. There was Dr. Leatherballs, but we like to call him Iblis.
Yeah, hi, how you doing?
And Amsquatch. We nicknamed him Treeleaf.
Alright, wish me luck. Wait, what am I gonna say again?
And I could never forget Doozy Boy. His close friends called him Alamandros.
But sir, if you'd like to drop my visor, and we should duel it out, just you and I would be open to that, because you seem to have other ideas.
Oh dear. I'm beginning to tear up. You're not anxious to check in, are you? Of course not. Sit down. I'll tell you all about them. In tonight's mesmerizing episode of Drive-By D&D, our adventurers are surprised by a bandit group known as the Seven Snakes, whose intentions drip-drop nefariousness. Cassie Goodhart, the Lady Nander of Nightstone, was found dead. Now, accompanied by two teenage guards, Alamandros, Iblis, and Treeleaf attempt to depart Nightstone in search of answers from the elves of our deep forest. Unbeknownst to both groups, however, War Chieftain Gurrash with a mob of vile, bloodthirsty orcs approaches to dismember every last one of them. In what I like to call Episode 2, Orcs Attacks. It's like Mars Attacks, only better. Hold on. If you haven't seen Episode 1 and Episode 1 Part 2, don't watch this episode. Episode 2. Very epic proportions are involved with this important matter. Now, I hope you understand what you must do. And here is where this tale continues.
You find yourselves in the alleyway with the guard, Kieran. He's been a little beat up on the escape from the castle, jumping over the bridge. And Sylvie, sort of the girl's been a bitch to you for a little while and just wants to get the hell out of here. When you get to the town square after hearing this man's voice yell out for this Kella character, you come to the town square and you sort of survey the scene. You see the two dead wargs that you guys murdered from before. There is like this giant gaping hole in the middle of the town square. Beside it is this huge giant bag. And then you see the scene of these bandits that are on horseback. They kind of have like maroon type of leather armor. You notice they have this badge with a 7 and this coiled snake wrapped around the 7. They all have like this insignia on their armor. All of them look like they've been like through some fighting before. These look like rough fucking motherfuckers. But oddly enough, the leader at the front looks like he's almost never been harmed. Maybe suggesting he's never even been wounded in combat before. And maybe that's why these like veterans really respect him. He's a half-elf. And you see Kella run towards him. As she does so, she's kind of like taking off and just throwing aside her like priestly vestments, and underneath she's wearing sort of the same maroon armor, the 7 with a coiled snake around it. She also has like a flying serpent snake wrapped around her arm. The one that she called Zolkin looks down at her and says, "The snail told you to come and infiltrate the town, not obliterate it. What the hell happened here?" she tells him what happened in the town, which was she got a room at the tavern when suddenly what first seemed to be just like a storm coming, a regular old storm, turns out to be these like huge cloud giant castle just like hovered over, started chucking these huge boulders and just fucking up the town. Once the bridge was shattered, the tavern owner, who she called Morak, like led the people like out of the town to run for the caves. And she was the only one who sort of saw that the cloud castle hovered directly over the town, right over this obelisk. That's actually why they call the town Nightstone, this huge sort of magical obelisk. 4 cloud giants just descend to the town square and rip the obelisk out and like carry it back up to the cloud castle. So the cloud castle flies the fuck off.
Is she telling us all this?
She's telling Zolkin what happened, and you're listening to it. And then she got hit with a rock, passed out. When she woke up, goblins were in the fucking town. And then she tells him about you guys sort of going through the town, wrecking the goblins. So he looks back at his men and he just says, all right, well, you know why we're here. You two close the gates. 2 of his guards go, jump off their horsebacks, go to the gatehouse, and start raising the drawbridge. You others scour the town. If you find any Nandor guards, kill them. Bandit guys start scouring the town. So you start seeing them go off in different directions.
I feel like right when we kind of realize that they're dispersing and start looking around, Iblis turns to everyone else in the alley. Is like, we should fall back somewhere, recognize these Zentarum. They mean business. We should not confront them in a group. Let's draw them out. He starts walking back. He's not even actually waiting for you guys to respond. He just starts walking back toward the keep, like away from the group of Zentarum, back down the alleyway.
Alamandros.
Although I'm not that
I'm gonna stick with you.
I say not fighting them in this alleyway is a good idea. Let's find somewhere more advantageous for us. Let's fall back.
How will we make them fall back into this alleyway? Chasing us. They funnel in.
Oh, like make a noise. Do you want me just to like yell?
I can poke them. I mean, I'm good at poking. Can you guys do anything to make my poking more effective? Make it so I don't have to poke all of them.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying let's draw them in somewhere more advantageous rather than just fight them all out in the open.
Then off we go.
So I'm definitely following Alamandros.
Following Iblis.
We should ambush them somehow. Draw them down this alleyway. We'll hide behind this wall maybe and ambush them.
Like-
Absolutely agree.
Like tie them up?
Yeah, we can tie them up if we want to.
Depends on how they attack us.
Are we talking about killing these dudes? I've never killed a person before.
Here's what we'll do. We'll hold up behind this wall. You wander out there and maybe see if they're friendly. If they're not, run back past the wall and we'll take care of anyone who follows you.
I've never met a human that's not friendly.
Yeah. You're a nice guy. You're very personable.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll like you.
Iblis, if you say that they are bad and then you tell him they are good, I would have to go with him.
I'm not telling them they're good. I'm just saying that it's a good way to test and also bait them in. If they're bad, they'll chase them in. We ambush them. If they're good, we find out.
I think Iblis is on the money with this one. I think I can convince them that we're pretty nice.
Alright.
Good idea, Iblis.
I say like, I'd tuck behind this wall, you tuck back over here, and then we can ambush them if anybody that comes running past.
Cool. Here I go.
You're a knight, you're an army man, I'm sure you've seen ambushes before. Either in them or repelling them.
Yes.
Alright, wish me luck. Wait, what am I gonna say again?
I am not entirely sure.
And he walks up and steps into the opening.
Yeah, there's sort of one of these Zentarum bandits approaching you. They've dismounted at this point and have sort of scattered and are just looking on foot. The horses are there. But Zolkin, the leader, is still on his steed, and Kella, in her new leather armor look, looks over at Zolkin and says, oh, there's one of them now. The one bandit looks over at her like, should I attack this guy or something? She just waves her hand up and is just like, don't. I never properly introduced myself. My name's Kella Darkhope.
Hey.
What's yours?
My name's Flower Tree Root Leaf. I came up with that myself. We just want to get out of here. Just coming to say hi.
Zolkin looks over at Kella. What is the meaning of this? Who are these people? Kella just looks back and is just like, just shut up for a second here. These are the people that cleared this whole place of goblins.
Yeah, man, chill out.
Alamandros is like definitely,
He
this
yells-
time to
he yells
move
over
here
to
is wandering out. As soon as he heard people talking and it wasn't like, hey you, we're gonna kill you now. Just wandering out.
As he starts wandering, Iblis is going to turn to two guards that are with us, Kieran and
Sylvie.
I know you had a bit of a hard time getting over that moat, but you might want to go check on your friends. These guys are going to kill them if they find them. Either way, though, I'm going to go back up these two fools.
Sylvie looks at you. Wait, you're leaving us?
Yeah, that's what I said. So you might want to go huddle back up with your friends. He's not gonna go down that way. He wants to come across and like slink through the bushes if he can. Like he's trying to be sneaky, coming around the other way.
Sylvie runs up, whispers out like, Alamandros, you're not gonna let them hurt us, are you? She tenderly squeezes your bicep. You feel it through your plate mail. She looks up at you with pouty lips.
Sylvie, don't be afraid, but do be ready. I need you to be prepared for if anything goes on, and you might have to get the others as well. So be prepared. I know you're trained. Now stay back. Get the others ready. Pump them up. You can do it.
I'm Alamandros. I was never trained. I never did the training. She's kind of crying, and Kieran's just kind of walking up beside her. I don't think we should go back. Just pretend we're commoners in the town, and then he starts taking off his armor as quietly as he can. Would that work?
You do what you feel you must.
Okay, I feel safer with you guys.
We'll just stay back for the moment, and if things turn nasty, be ready.
Okay, and they both nod, and he waves Sylvie to get back, and she kind of scurries off, huddles with him, teary-eyed.
But I'm coming out, visor up.
They just see another person come out, and around this time, the other bandits that he sort of sent to roam the town have come back. These two guards from the gatehouse, they come back, report, drawbridge up, sir. And you remember this town is surrounded by this 15-foot palisade wall, and there's a moat outside of it. So Zolkin's sort of distracted by that as that all comes out. Kella looks out at whoever's there. Oh, I don't believe we met.
Yes, good lady. I believe I heard on the way over you're Kella.
Kella Darko.
I saw you on the way by when I was running past. Sorry I didn't have time to say hello. Have you seen my horse?
Make a perception check right now. So you spot Pugly and Soar over like in the stables. Like you see sort of Pugly peek out his head. So you kind of get that sense that, oh, they're in the stables.
Nice. On to better things. These stretches. Oh, this armor. It's heavy. And I'm sorry, did I hear your name was Zolkan, sir?
You heard correct. Looked like you know how to wield a sword.
Well, I have used it before. I had to cut down some goblins earlier that infested the city. Have you seen the damage from the giants?
Kella looks at Zolkin and just confirms those kills. Like, this guy's a master with his weapon. Again, this is unexpected. I don't know. The giants have been rampaging around Daggerford, Waterdeep, the whole Goldenfields, the countryside. I never suspected a small town like Nightstone would be affected. He looks over at that gaping hole that's kind of in the middle of the town square where the obelisk should be. He just looks at you guys and is just like, they've been doing this everywhere. Gathering up magical artifacts and destroying everything in their path just to get them. Fuck. The snail sent us here to fucking set up a base for the Black Network, but won't be much of a base without any townspeople.
Sir, what is the Black Network? It sounds treacherous.
Oh, the Black Network. Well, you see, there's this crime boss I work for named the Snail. You know, sent me here to take over this town and infiltrate it, get the Nanders on our side, and basically run this place. It's a perfect position between Daggerford and Waterdeep to run our operations. You guys really have no idea who these people are or anything past what you've just heard. But Alamandros, you know that the Black Network is basically a big crime network that just runs throughout Waterdeep, Daggerford. You know, you're dealing with them with shady business deals, merchant-wise, and basically being a bunch of scumbags throughout the whole region.
While they're talking,
Yeah.
Iblis is basically trying to sneak his way towards the
Oh yeah, want to make a stealth roll here, please?
Fuck. 5. Yeah.
The half-elf on the horse named Zolkin just looks back and says, "You can come out now, I know you're there."
Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Hi. How you doing? He slowly walks out from behind a tree. Mean you no harm. Just people normally don't take kindly to my kind, so I was just trying to quietly go on my way is all.
Yeah. Kellen nods. That makes all three. See, Zolkin, these are the ones. We could use them. They could help us. Get this place up and running again.
I think our plan's going really well.
You're doing great.
In your ear.
You're doing great.
Zolkin, again, looks comfortable and looks at all of you and says, "We're not your enemies. The only ones that concern us are anything left of the Nandars. Help us, take over this town. Maybe we get the villagers back. Say that, we came to protect this place and your lord and lady are dead, so Daggerford sent us, and we all dress up in guard armor and fucking run this town for the Black Network.
I don't know. I don't know if we should allow that to happen. I mean, we need to stop the giants, I think, is the first thing we need to do it. Otherwise, there won't be a town to attend to.
Alamandros. He's whispering to you. Did they say something about killing villagers or something?
But I don't think they've killed anyone today.
No.
I've only met them today. We seem to have more present. I'm not sure.
No, I mean, they were talking about killing the kids that we were with.
Right this instant.
When we were listening.
Is that true that you were threatening to kill the children here?
Children? No, just the guards. We need to cleanse this place of the old regime and start new, so we could use some extra help.
Actually, like, while they're talking to Iblis is trying to stand back nonchalantly, but his eyes kind of glaze over a little bit, and he's actually casting detect magic.
You know that there's a residue where that giant gaping hole where the obelisk in the town used to be. There was some magic to it that no one really could ever discover, but there's a sort of a residue there. Inside the giant bag, you get like a little blip. You hit some sort of magical something. Even on Zolkin himself, you know that he's carried a potion of invulnerability.
And also, like, how many guys are in the courtyard?
Yeah,
It's
there's
just kind of like surveying what he's gotten into now, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's 7 in total, and back to your history with the Black Network, Alamandros, you're like, these guys must be the 7 snakes. Like, they're a big fucking bandit deal in the area. All the pieces of the puzzle are connecting for you right now. Kella looks at you all, just says, we don't mean the people here harm. They'll be safe in our care. We can make a lot of money if you guys help us establish this place.
Without taking care of the giant problem first. Have you seen the giant rocks that are going through everywhere?
Zolkin looks at you and says, Alamandros, smart observation, but I feel that now that the magical artifact is gone, the cloud giants won't return. They've been hunting the artifacts. It must be the only reason.
Did you say magical artifact?
Yeah, the cloud giants are hunting magical artifacts around the land, just devastating this place.
What did they take from here?
The Nightstone.
Iblis walks over to where, like, the crater is, and it's just like this, right around here. Tell, there was something. There's still residue. There was something powerful here.
If you're not willing to join our efforts, then just get the fuck out of my sight.
Yeah, well, we will be on our way shortly, but I believe we need to take the other gods that are here with us, because I'm not sure that I trust you with them.
All the bandits look at each other like, fuck, guards. Did you say guards?
Oh yes, there are many. Oh, easily enough to take you on.
We advise, or I Zolkin advise that you show them to us and stay out of our way.
I'm not sure I need to show them to you. I'm not sure that I'm going to. But sir, if you'd like to drop my visor, and we should duel it out, just you and I would be open to that, because you seem to have other ideas.
He just snaps his finger and his guards just rush Alamandros.
As they rush, Pugly!
It's Pugly here. As the battle ensues, Zolkin whips out his potion of invulnerability and chugs that motherfucker. Wipes his mouth. Kella, you notice, sort of just steps back, just goes next to Zolkin. They're wielding these scimitars, and again, a lot of these guys have scars on their faces. They look like they're pretty mean dudes. One's gonna attack Alamandros, misses. The other one's gonna attack Treeleaf. It's almost like you just got in the way of him just barreling in, trying to get at Alamandros. Just misses you. The other guys, I feel like, just can't really get into range there. And Zolkin's just waiting on his steed, looking all high and mighty. You see that he rolls up this message on a scroll and attaches it to his flying serpent, and it goes flying off over the wall. He says, "Fly swiftly, Hiss. Make your way to the snail. Tell him of our fucking takeover of this town." And the snake flies off with this message that he said it. He spoke it aloud for some reason. Yeah, so now it's Treeleaf. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough not to fuck up.
We had all those awesome names for them in the group chat.
I'm gonna pass on all of them. Weren't they all like fucking dick something or another and cock, whatever?
No, they were totally in character.
Yeah.
Twink berries, something.
Twig berries?
Twig berries.
Oh, twig, okay.
Moss Mound Rotten Log.
Oh, that's a good one.
Twigberry's Mud Hole.
No. Maybe that's where I thought it got dirty.
What, you don't like
Huh.
mud hole?
Acorn Nut Dirt Branch.
Mud hole.
For some reason, yeah, I thought that
I did say Bark Dick Tree Hole.
I think that's probably where. Maybe I didn't read them carefully enough, but.
What's happening? Is somebody hitting somebody?
It's Moss Mound.
Treeleaf, yeah.
Yes.
Moss mouth.
Little
Close enough.
bark nuts.
He grabs a spear, pulls a spear out. As he does that, his armor, all that wicker like branch of his armor, kind of starts wrapping around his spear and spreading little thorns that is casting chalet. So then he's gonna attack. 18.
It's a hit. Just the one directly in front of you?
I'm in here in
Yeah.
front of you guys. 5.
Yeah.
5 damage.
Person in front of you, you see, like, this guy's got this, like, red mohawk and he's fucking, like, mutton chops and shit. Kind of looks like a bulldog. But you smack him hard. You can tell that it's not something he hasn't seen before.
Yeah. So he draws some of his first blood, and as he sees that, you almost see like his eyes well, if you could see, his eyes like flash almost into like a red hue. Kind of looks off.
It's Alamandros.
turn.
What do you think about the idea if Pugly fucking, because I yelled to him at the beginning of the whole thing, slaps the ass of my horse and fucking sends it rushing towards me. I'm hoping that Pugly did that.
Okay.
So what do you want me to roll for that shit?
Animal handling, yeah, for Pugly though.
Yeah,
so
for Pugly.
so you're just gonna have to do a +0. You slap the horse's ass, doors burst open, the horse soar, comes soaring out of the stables, runs towards the guards, I guess like goes through them and breaks them up a little bit, just barrels right through and goes running off.
So is Pugly on the horse, or do you just slap the horse?
Okay, you just slap it.
Okay.
Make some dex checks here. The hooves just clippity clop and just bash you.
So how much?
1d4.
Oh, I roll my own damage.
Yeah, you can roll damage. Yeah. And I'm gonna roll damage from my
4.
guard people later.
If I fucked up the damage on that last roll, I missed 4 damage. Should have been 9, not 5. Been holding that in, but I was just like
It should have been
letting stuff play out a bit, and I maybe have.
That should have been 9? What?
Yeah, because I was supposed to add the damage modifier, right? Like the proficiency plus, in that case,
Oh.
wisdom. So that's 2 and 2. It should have been 9, not 5.
Okay.
Does that
Yeah, sure, it's been changed.
does that kill him or?
No? But he looks. He shaves
goes
off
back,
part of his mutton
realizes-
chops. Yeah.
Realized how painful that actually
Wait,
was.
yeah, actually.
I've felt this before, and he looks down, the fight spears all the way through his body.
Oh, on second thought, my heart's gone.
Actually, though, the one that you did injure, now the horse just like trampled over him and murdered him just before everyone's eyes. He just dies. Zolkin and Keller are like, Gus! And he's dead, just bloodied to death after all that. The other guys are like bashed by this horse was wild, kind of kicking and, bruising some bones. But then they're moving the clothes back in again. They just like close right back in. Kella's like, you notice she's notching his crossbow, like, ready to shoot you.
She's just getting ready to shoot me.
Yeah.
And then what's his nuts is up on his horse,
Yeah.
but he's invulnerable.
Well, he's drank the potion, which God knows what it does. Hold on,
Yeah,
I'll
it
save
could
that
easily
thought.
just be giving him resistance to damage or something, maybe not fully invulnerable.
So are we allowed to know what the potion does?
Make a, I guess you wouldn't have, yeah, you knew though from your detect magic that was invulnerability, so make a arcana check. I just want to, how deep is your knowledge?
So he knows that it's a potion called an invulnerability potion, but he
Doesn't know what it does.
17.
See what he knows.
I think he knows.
He knows.
Yeah, I think
So
he
for
knows.
1 minute after you drink potion, you have resistance to all damage.
Zokan, your men don't have to die. Call them off.
Roll a persuasion.
I like that you're yelling, your men don't have to die as you're stabbing one.
Absolutely. 12.
He just says, "Stop, everyone, stop!" you kind of look over and see the bloody mess of Gus. His mohawk doesn't look so hot right now. And the guards like peel back, grimacing from the horse wounds. Kella stops loading her crossbow, and Zolkin just looks at Alamandros and says, "You're right. This is not what I wanted. The 7 snakes is now 6. I shouldn't have jumped to such conclusions and attacked you such. It's not why we came. Everybody fall back to your damn horses." And so the guards start going back to their horses, and Kella's looking up at Zolkin like, "Are you fucking sure about this?" Like with a worried look. And he just says, "Let's start packing up that body." One of the guys says, "Hey, Zolkin, what about this giant bag?" And then he says, "Okay."
Iblis is like, "Oh, that's our giant bag. We brought that."
Make an intimidation check here.
25. And like,
Wait.
it's not even waiting either. He's walking towards the bag to grab it. Like,
Zolkin waves him off, doesn't say a word, and the bandit just nods, and the bag is huge.
however big it is, he either picks it up or he just like grabs a part of it and just starts trying to haul it.
So most of them are on the horses, but 2 of them went to go help Gus. Like they're gonna take his body with them, and I suppose 2 of them went to go towards the gatehouse to lower the drawbridge.
How big is this giant bag though, by the way?
Yeah. So do you want to look inside the giant bag?
Well, that's what I'm just deciding is if I'm just gonna take the whole bag or if it's so big that I would just look in it while it's there. Like, do I have to do a vision check to see how big this fucking bag
I
right in front of
agree
me is?
because how big is it? Like, is like
Yeah,
how-
Like, I'm not asking how heavy it is. I just want to know how big,
Okay, hold on.
how large is this fucking bag in front of you?
And I was like, oh, they're the size of my fucking horse. That's what I'm charging at. I thought it was a couple of wolves in a goddamn bag and
Right.
horse-sized wolves.
Well, it says
They almost tore my goddamn leg.
like it can fit small animals inside of it.
Okay, so
Like
it's
sheep.
it's a big fucking
You could-
cat. So then in that case, he just walks over and like unties it and starts rummaging through it.
Okay, so roll D100. The first thing you notice when you reach in is it's heavy. Like it
A
fits in
live
2 hands.
goat.
A giant-sized bone comb.
Giant size
Bone comb. You dig a little deeper and you remember, like, wait a minute, I detected some other thing in this thing. And you pull
Well,
up
and
this.
like I can cast it at will, so I feel like right when you started reefing through it,
Right.
you recast it again.
Yeah. So you're rifling through the bag. This blue glow just bursts for a little second, and you see this ruin symbol on it.
It's not Dwarvish by any chance, is it?
Make a history check.
Because I can read Dwarvish.
You would recognize this as a symbol that is like a precursor to Dwarvish language. It's like their original language before Dwarvish, so it's like ancient, and you really don't understand what it means. It's just kind of sparkling blue. It's a ruined stone. It's actually like a small nugget.
Little nugget.
A little nugget. A nugget.
Iblis just pockets the nugget, keeps reefing through it unless there's anything else.
No, that was all that was in that bag. Just obviously a clumsy giant who just didn't notice as they were ripping the obelisk out of the town square. Right around this moment, though, you can hear the creaking of the drawbridge, like they're lowering the drawbridge. By this point, they've bandaged up Gus, and they've sort of thrown him over the back of a horse, and they're basically just like, the snail won't be pleased about this news. I just want you to know that. One way or another, Nightstone will be ours. They're sort of clip-clopping out, the drawbridge is sort of lowering, when suddenly, in the high noon sky, this like green spark just like shines right past the sun. It's a small, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and this green arrow flies right into the center of the town square. Alamandros, you notice there's like this elvish script written on the shaft, like you can just see it sparkling green. It feels quiet all of a sudden. One of the bandits on top of the gatehouse is like looking out over the palisade walls. Orcs! Fucking orcs! Out of the Ardeep Forest! They're coming out of the Ardeep Forest! Zolkin's like, raise the drawbridge! Raise the fucking drawbridge!
Yeah,
So
I mean,
does it seem like from at a glance where we are, does it look like they're getting the gate raised in time, or is this looking like it's not getting up there?
Yeah, like you
That's
can.
Iblis' main concern is whether or not they're getting
Yeah.
laid up.
You saw that bandit rush back down into the tower, and you hear the creaking begin again. They're winding up the drawbridge. Gonna take maybe like 5 minutes or so. And maybe these orcs are coming in like 10 minutes, let's say.
Alamandros, tell them to stop putting the drawbridge out. You should go out and tell them to stop like you did with the bandits.
No. By the way, you did a great job. You did a great job.
I drew my first blood.
Did he kill Gus?
The horse
The
killed Gus.
horse ended up killing
Oh.
us.
I stabbed him though.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you might want to find your horse before these orcs get here.
Oh.
Did it not just like tear off through the battle and not stop?
And where is...
Zolkin.
Yeah. The Alamandro, I mean, would have been walking up to him. I'm sorry about your man, but I think we have bigger things on the horizon here with him talking about the giants and shit. In other words.
Just like, let bygones be bygones.
For now, I
We
think
need to hold this town.
we may need to work together on this one then, okay.
We're gonna have to. Can anyone read Elvish? That's an elven arrow!
Oh, I can
Come
read
on,
all
people.
this. Absolutely.
As you get more central and you approach it, you can see in Elvish that it's saying, run!
This says run. And I yell up to the guard, how many do you see?
This is like the dumbest bandit. Like, he didn't even learn to count. He's just like, there's a lot! Oh god, is that Percy up there? He can't count words. Shit! Kella, go up there and see how many there are. Kella darts up. And
Do or die at this point. Either we stop raising the gate and try and escape, or we keep raising the gate and we try and hold on. What do we do?
Raise the gate.
Kella's yelling down at this point, right when the drawbridge like closes up. I see about 20. One looks to be the leader, looks hurt. And an orc shaman as well. Zolkin's just like, 7 snakes. Everyone, like, man some towers. Like, fucking start manning some towers. We're holding this fucking place down. We got this sick-ass palisade wall. We'll get through this. Leave Gus. He's dead to us. Zolkin looks at you guys and says, might be best if we ambush these fuckers if they get in.
I always like a good ambush. Maybe we should take positions in the towers by the gates. If that's the only way in, you know? If they're gonna get in that way, then we can ambush them.
Yeah, you got the best plans.
I've been around the block, young moss tree.
What condition is the keep in?
Well, it can hold a siege if we can get a bridge to it. The one that's there is pretty fucked up.
That could work to our favor.
Could work to our favor.
We just need something temporary.
And you said there were guards here. We might fucking need them.
Sylvie, we need lumber to build a temporary bridge to the keep just in case we need to fall back. You and your guards. I'm sure you can do that much.
Kieran's by this point taking off all his armor and he's just with Sylvie and they come poking their heads out from behind the building and they kind of look over at Zolkin and the fucking bandits and all you guys and are just saying like, oh, we'll do what you say. And I'm just gonna watch over Sylvie. She's just useless right now.
Wait, before you go.
Did I hear there was orcs?
You guys are city guards here. Is there any other ways out of this town other than the front gate? Is there any secret passages or some shit?
No, the keep is the strongest point, and the main gate's the only way in that I know of. We can chop down some of these trees and fucking...
Can we just use that card? I don't want to hurt any of these trees.
Yeah, it makes sense. Save time. Rip some doors off these houses or something.
Trees.
It doesn't need to be good. It just needs to work.
Zolkin's like, the tree man is right. Get the cart. Everybody help, and fucking, even he gets down from his horse. How many people are helping move the cart? Kieran's going, Sylvie's just staying back, avoiding all labor.
But remember, we need to be able to kick it down afterwards, so don't build it too damn sturdy.
Zolkin's taking it, Kieran's taking some, and say like 2 more people need to move this.
Yeah, I went over to that tree and he's just like standing with it, kind of whispering like, I got your back, little buddy. Just like hanging out over with the tree. So you need people to push it?
Alamandros, lend me your strength.
Just a moment. I'm looking for my horse.
Get your slave to do it.
The horse, just after it got spooked, it's just been kind of wandering near the gatehouse area part of the town. It's sort of settled down. It's chewing on a blade of grass.
Nice. Hartley, attend to Sora, please. Quickly, we'll need her shortly. And then he marches out to help push the thing. Zolkan, we can do this together.
Yeah, so with Kieran, you and Zolkin, you're pushing it. It's got its wheels, but basically you're like the horse at this point. Or you guys, all 3 of you are. And, you know, you're moving it down the road. Sylvie's just like sitting in the cart. So we're not getting to leave, I guess. The orcs have like reached the gatehouse. You can see a lot of them are like trying to swim across at this point. They're all coming from, like, I guess this northern spot. Some of them drifted over this way. You can sort of see the war chief. He's got these like magic arrows littered over like his shoulder, looks injured, but just yelling at his men to like in Orcish, basically yelling commands at them, and they're all running around. They see the drawbridge up. The Zentaran bandits are kind of like peppering some of these guys at this moment where they can, but basically you can see that they're just kind of splitting up and looking for any weaknesses in the defenses.
Is the moat that's around this main keep connected to the main moat that's around the whole outside?
Yeah.
That's not good.
So they're just, I guess you're moving towards this. You see the other two teenager guards, Kaelin and Alara, just like opening the door and being like, what is it? What now?
Orcs,
For fuck's sakes. Alright, well, we're gonna go fucking hide.
we need you with bow and arrow. Bow and arrow as they're running away.
Make a, I don't know, persuasion. Shout check.
20.
They do hear the command to maybe go do that. Okay, you stirred something inside. Do what he said. Yeah, do what he says, Alara. Let's look for some bows. So now you guys, you're gonna try and shove this. What are you gonna do with this cart?
Shove it ish so that it's a bridge for us to all cross.
Yeah, I was trying to wedge it across the gap if we can.
Make a strength check with advantage. Zolkin's helping, and with advantage because Kieran's helping.
19.
It was the perfect idea, and you just like shoved it in, and you know it kind of drops and lodges onto the other side, and the wheels are kind of just like spinning over top of the moat. You realize in your situation that these orcs are like swimming down the moat. Around the broken bridge area is just like enough debris that they can really like climb out of the moat, and they start climbing out of this moat.
I don't know, am I rolling? Like,
You're gonna just do whatever you're doing, I guess. I don't know.
don't know they're in combat, I'm just gonna stand
Just chilling
yeah,
by the tree.
I guess I'm standing here, yeah.
Starts with Alamandros.
Yeah, like,
How many orcs? Are these all of them?
They're still scouring, but these four found this opening,
are they like swimming right now, or are they
like climbing out onto the rock.
And yeah, I shout to Sylvie. Sylvie, go and warn them. They're at the gates already of the keep. Get a bow, girl. You can do it.
Persuasion.
10.
Her ruby pouty lips turn to a little bit of smile. She looks into Alamandros' his eyes, and there's a calmness that comes across her, and she smiles, she's confident, and she just kind of nods, hops out of the cart. She calls back and says, I'll hold the door. And she's in the keep holding the door open for anyone who wants to run. You can see in the background that Kaelin and Alara are notching some bows.
Nice. And I'm ready. Attack. Draw sword. Whichever comes into my immediate vicinity is getting a sword in the face. Yeah, ready and also shouting. They're at the keep as well! Pass it on!
Make a constitution saving throw of like how strong you are at yelling.
517.
You can tell that was a mighty yell, and you can rest assured that that probably reached someone's ears.
then Iblis runs out halfway onto the bridge, like standing in the middle of the cart now, but it's more so he can see a good angle of where they're climbing up. And then he's just gonna look at whichever one's highest up, like closest to getting to the top. Just kind of points his hand out and just gonna cast Eldritch Blast on him. 19 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
14 damage. Force damage too. I feel like
Holy shit.
the guy, he's like, I ran out to the middle of the bridge kind of thing, right? So as they're climbing up, their back is to me, right?
Right.
And the Eldritch Blast is force damage, so I just kind of feel like he just shoots his hand out, and it came in with such a force that, like, as the guy's climbing, it hit him in the back and, like, slammed him into the wall.
While he sort of sees his friend get to the top, that blast just shook his body, and he's hanging there, looks almost dead, slipping back down into the river. But the other three make it up, go right for the first thing they can see. The show must go on.
Live theater.
Yes, they just go ape shit on Kieran. 2 of them hit.
And he took all his armor off.
They've got these huge axes. They're massive great axes. They're orcs. They're muscly. They got dark
thinking
green
goblins
skin,
again.
sharp fangs at the corner of their mouths, and they've got these jaws that are just sticking out. Underbite. So 2 great axes just crush Kieran into the step leading up to the bridge. Ah! A zit pops, and he flies into the fucking... They just kick his body to the curb and are snarling at Alamandros and Zolkin and Iblis.
Oh, Kieran, no. Hold your ground, Zolkin.
Sylvie's skin has gone ghost white as she looks at Kieran's mangled corpse. She's holding the door open for you. The other 2 are their bows, yeah. Still notching them.
Takes a long time, apparently.
They heard Kieran scream, sensing that his friends are in trouble. He sprints towards you.
Alright.
That's it?
I suppose by this point as well, they've abandoned the gates. They've seen from their vantage point as well as here in Alamandros this mighty yell that these orcs found a way in. So they're coming.
Alamandros is yelling, Pugly, to me, to me. Also, he's looking around going, I can't believe no one came into my range to fight me. All these guys are little bitches.
They all attack Kieran.
What's this guy doing?
He's
the one I hit with the Eldritch
Yeah,
Blast.
Oh,
So he's
down there.
like kind of just barely hanging on
struggling.
the
Yeah.
Alamandros just steps forward, tries to stab him.
Your mighty weapon cuts at the orc's flesh, and you're adding almost a little bit more wounds to what looks like he's already been in some sort of fight prior to this. There's a look of savage desperation in his eyes.
Iblis is standing still. He's still in the middle of the bridge, or like in the middle of the cart that's wedged in the bridge. He doesn't see any more climbing up, does he?
Yeah, he does see more. One more's coming. But you know there's approximately 20 of them. 20 to 25.
25 now.
25 or 50.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Couple thousand. Iblis is going to, he looks past Alamandros at one of the other orcs that hasn't been touched yet. Just points at him and yells like, you better run back to your orc whore mother. Casts Hellish Rebuke on him, so needs to make a dexterity saving throw. DC 14.
Crit one. Ouch.
Nice.
17.
How does he die?
Nice. So yeah, he yells that at him, and as he makes eye contact with the orc, these flames sprout up from literally where the orc's standing. It's not even like it's around him; it's under the soles of his feet. Just all of a sudden, just flames blast up and just incinerate him. They disappear. And it's just like dust just trickles down.
That was really scary. For his orc buddies who look over, it's like and they grunt something in Orcish and attack Alamandros. 21 and 24.
Yeah, they just I'm about to die.
9 plus 10, 19. Damn.
Jesus.
Just hacked down in his prime.
Orcs, they walk over and just stomp on your corpse. Zolkin's like, fall back! Iblis, fall back to the cave! Sylvie at this point looks like she's about to shut the fucking door. She's just getting too scared seeing Alamandros, the mighty knight, go down in horrible pain and agony. That orc just lets out a big and it's as if the other orcs are just more invigorated and they get aggressive and they double their movement, and these guys are all, you can see, just like storming and swimming like crazy, and they all make it up. Even that little weak bitch, they're just pumped up and they get aggressive, so they just fucking swim over there and just climb the fuck up. No one else is attacking. That's as much as they can do.
He cries out for Alamandros. He's just running at this point with his spear up like that above his head. And he just, hopefully his back's still turned, he just, with his spear raised up, he just goes to jam it into his back. 16.
And that hits.
Alright, so as he hits him with the spear, you can see, like, again, like before, like his eyes turn red. He seems to, like, be a little out of it at this point. I'm gonna roll damage now. 3.
You puncture right into the back of his leather armor. Blood just spills out of the wound. Still alive though, and just like howling in pain. It was just yelling in triumph, but it has been wounded now twice, back to back from Alamandros' initial slash. It's weak. You took the wind out of its triumph.
Yeah, and as that happens, he falls to the ground. He hunches over and he screams out in pain, and you can see like his muscles are starting to bulge. Fucking brown hair starts growing out of his arms, and lastly, his teeth just become like pretty big fangs and jaws, and then he extends out into a full brown bear.
Crazy.
Now I called Pugly, he got him to try to come to me. Now he can't attack anything, but is he like fucking gotta move and he'd be grabbing the horse? He'd be whistling for motherfucking
Yeah, you got the horse back, so I guess what's he doing right now?
running towards his master. Oh god, you know.
Okay.
Riding the horse, trying to help.
So yeah, let's say you catch up with those guys, yeah.
I guess I roll a death save throw. So I got not success. I'm not sure I want to wake up in this environment.
And so, like, some of these guys are really hurt, right?
One of them's
my
really hurt.
Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Another one had been stabbed a couple times, hasn't he? Or
This
hit
one
by-
has, yeah. This,
hit by Treeleaf.
yeah,
as well.
and Alamandros, and then one is almost dead, and then 7 more came.
Great. Iblis is still standing on the cart in the middle there. Got a bit of an elevated vantage point, I feel like. You can see them all congregating, like all the soldiers, the Zentarum coming to back us up. He's just like, fuck it. He's gonna throw kind of a Hail Mary plan here, and he just runs up, jumps right into the fray. Wrathful Smite. As he's running up, he's trying to be as intimidating as possible, and just yelling in big demon voice. He's like, these are my humans! And goes to fucking hit the closest one that's still full strength with his quarterstaff, jumping in and yelling that and trying to be as intimidating as possible. So he's gonna
Roll an intimidation check.
12.
You gain advantage because you intimidate them.
Cool.
They're afraid of this demon voice.
19 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Since he had cast Wrathful Smite, I get an extra d6 psychic damage on the hit. Psychic damage. 12 damage.
He's hurt pretty bad, still alive.
He's got to do a wisdom saving throw.
Fails.
So now he's frightened of me for a minute.
So that means I run away from him.
So yeah, basically Iblis came running off of the wagon that's being used as the middle of the bridge, just jumps and just screams that at all the orcs, just trying to be intimidating because he's got his horns, he looks like a devil, and he's like, these are my humans, and then smashes the one orc across the face with his quarterstaff. Now that one in particular is frightened of him.
Yeah. He's looking around him, but there's this huge bear that's just right behind him, and he doesn't quite know what to do, but he thinks he can make it past the bear claw and goes for a fucking run. Opportunity attack on him. Can I make it?
It's 19.
That's a hit.
11.
Alright, what happens when he dies?
As he's running by, immediately takes his claw, just digs it into his calf. His claws actually burst out the other side of his calf. Pulls the guy to the ground, then with his other claw, palms his head, and his claws just penetrate into his skull. You can see the bear seems to be like in a bloodlust.
The approaching bandits and Kella are just like, oh god, that was the most gruesome thing I've ever witnessed. Is it safe to go near it? One of them cries. Kella just says, you saw what it did to that orc. It hates orcs. Let's go. They move in to engage as quick as possible. The orcs notice them coming. They just start, the ones in the outskirts start launching javelins at them. They pull them off their backs. No, 2 hits for those 3 orcs. Oh my god, this is too intense. Crit damage on the one, it's just gonna hits one of the 7 snakes. He's dead. These javelins just puncture one of the 7 snakes. This guy had a mustache. Kella's like, Bruno, no!
What did the guy have?
Yeah, mutton chops and a mohawk. Cuss. Oh god. Zolkin's like, 7 snakes, we must fight for our lives right now. 3 other javelins came from the other side. So one hits, gonna hit another guard. So another javelin punctures one of the 7 snakes, and then one of them crit fails. This guy at the back just launches the javelin and hits the back of his buddy's head, except he lives.
Gets a javelin to the back of the head and lives.
Man, it's one of those injuries. It wasn't that famous that guy got a fucking railroad spike in his head and was like walking around and shit and like.
That's him.
Just on the perfect angle.
Yeah.
That's him. That's the orc. So he's wounded, but he's walking, and the other orc, he just pulls out his scimitar. These 2 guys trying to attack the bear.
Both their hits.
They're both hits? Okay, so, well, lucky you. 4 damage from the one, 4 damage from the second. Just 2 slashes hack at the bear's hide, but it's got a thick hide. And this one guy comes running in. He's gonna attack Iblis. 23? Oh yeah, it has a great axe. 15 damage.
That's it. Iblis just drops right beside fucking Alamandros' slit body.
So that's all the orcs moving. Zolkin goes to attack. That orc that just killed Iblis pulls out a scimitar. It's to attack. It's on 1.
Just waiting for Treeleaf to go down, and then the rest is just all Mark role-playing by himself.
One with its with his
To
dagger.
see if the
hits.
Zentarum survive and
Yeah.
end up saving us or
save
not.
you. Yeah.
We'll just sit here for the next 2.5 hours seeing how this plays out. I like the idea of all the characters die and it's just the DM self-role-playing like 20 characters.
Zolkin's scimitar just slashes across the orc's chest and then just jabs a dagger into the orc's neck and it dies. He's like, fall back to the cave. Treeleaf.
So he takes a big bite right at the orc that he's in combat with still. 7.
Nope.
Follows up with 2 big claws.
Big ol' golden claws.
24. 14.
How does he die?
His claws dig in on both sides and just rips the orc into pieces. Blood showering all over his fur. Then he's not in combat anymore, right?
Nope. Sorry, the one guy is on.
Oh, there's another guy.
There's two
that was in
attacking.
front.
So
Okay,
there's
yeah.
one more guy.
Whatever happened to these archers? Are they still just knocking their arrows or what?
Yeah, whatever
They're
happened.
doing that for like 5 rounds here.
Okay, so yeah, they're in position.
You roll that 6 times. Fuck, I forgot all the goddamn.
That's good memory, man.
Yeah, 2 hits. They're aiming for the same guys. And they noticed that this guy was half dead, so they were smart enough to slaughter that guy. So he is dead. Just as you killed that guy, an arrow flew out from the tower, and Kel and Alara are up there, and they look like surprised at how amazing they are. Both their arrows just shot into that orc, and both his eyeballs popped.
So, as a bear, he looks around and sees Alamandros. Now, when he's in bear form with Wild Shape, you do retain some of your personality. Like, he is a little bit out of control, but I think he still is aware of, like, people that he knows. The bear rushes. As it's running by, it just grabs Alamandros in its claws. It can only do, like, what a bear can normally do. So it grabs his claws in his armor and is just, like, pounding and dragging Alamandros with him, running towards the keep entrance. So I feel like with each step, he's just, like, slamming his body into the ground, but that's the best he can do. He pulls him into the keep.
They're in there. Sylvie's like, oh my god, like startled that the bear's there, but it's just like,
Hey, where was Iblis?
he was
Right beside Alamandros.
yeah.
Is it possible that he got a claw into both then and then fucking slammed both of them through? I thought you were further back.
No, I was literally lying right beside him.
Yeah, well, make a strength check for both. I'll give you one, you can choose who.
14 for Alamandros, 16 for Iblis.
One of them hits.
Iblis gets dragged. Alamandros is too heavy in his fucking plate.
Yeah.
He tries to, just kind of scrapes across the chest.
He goes to grab both, grabs Iblis. He's dragging Iblis each time, hitting him into the ground as he pulls him into the keep. And yeah, just scratched the front of Alamandros' armor on the way by.
Well, that kind of flip-flopped.
He's gonna ride up, bing, 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 and try to like block anything with the horse. He's off here doing what he can, which is nothing.
Not to put ideas in your head, but like you could probably like maybe tie a rope to your dead body and then the other end of the horse or something.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
like tying
I
a
feel
knot's a pretty mundane task. Ties it around your
But in
ankle.
order to move him, that's like an actionable thing, I think. In order to like move the body, you gotta like roll dice to carry the weight. I don't know.
No, that's why he tied to the horse, slapped the horse's ass. The horse drags his dead body into the keep.
He's shaking and knows he can do no good there, and he knows what he is good at, tying knots. He ties one to his arm, one to his leg, ties the other to the door, and Alamandros rolls to see if he stays alive. 13, turning above 10.
So it's 2 saves. It's just fine. He doesn't need Pugly's medicine skills.
Let's see how getting slammed by the bear as he's fucking moving me along, if that worked out in my favor or against me. 17. Rather than actually hurting me anymore, it was almost like jostling me awake a little bit, kind of slowly starting to come to as he's getting shaken around by the bear.
1 save?
Yep.
Nice.
So, Zulkan and these people all rush inside the keep. They're just hopping over Alamandros and ignoring him and just saving their own skin.
Help, please, thank God at least.
They just run into the keep.
We're probably not barely on.
And it's true, these orcs are snarling in here, and then 4 more like swimming in the moat, and they just come in swarming, and they're trying to intimidate Pugly to move out of the fucking way.
Well, technically, Pugly has sword in front of him.
Yeah, like how big is this
Sword
horse?
hard. Well, it's a horse, right?
One of them's gonna attack the horse.
Yeah.
then. What's the AC of a horse?
So,
How many
3
hit?
hits and a critical.
yeah.
3 hits and a crit, nat 20.
So, just huge great axes. 20 something damage.
So down goes sword.
Just,
Was getting chopped in half.
just 4 orcs pounced. Their great axes came down and just like 4 even slices of just like body body parts of Sora go flying everywhere, and blood spatters all over the top of Pugsley. You can see that they notice the door to the keep's been closed. 7 Snakes closed the door, and they're growling, though recognizing they can't see at this moment a way into this place.
Inside the keep, the bear is just wandering back and forth in front of the door, growling. Doing that, then going over to Iblis and just like nudging it with its nose, licking his face.
Okay, like, I'm gonna make a medicine check here.
16.
So it's enough to stabilize Iblis.
Sees him kind of coming around and then goes back to the door and is pacing back and forth, growling at the door. Yeah, and what's their awareness of you? If you stabilize, you're like breathing. Are they
Pugsley's
checking
just
you?
fucking
Or?
sitting above your corpse, or like, what's he doing?
Well, I don't know. Do I get to
He's
control
alone
him
out
before
there
my
surrounded.
turn, or what? Because he would be running like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I think you gotta just play him, yeah.
How do we just run? It's like a son of a bitch. He's like, ah! And if he can, he would try to kick over the bridge.
Okay, strength check.
I don't know if he can do that kind of move.
If he can die,
That seems like Pugsley. He's like, hey, ah! And then he just kind of beaks inside.
I think the door's closed.
that door's closed.
And I'm paid.
Oh no, please, please, attack them, save me. Oh, Lord Alamandros is down, please.
Make a persuasion or do some skill, I feel like that you think would
He's
get
got
you.
nothing. Well,
They open the door a crack, and you can see it's the bandits, their maroon armor, and they let you in, shut the door.
shoot at them, do something. Kick the bridge down.
Just get in here! Get in here! Sorry about your master, Zolkin looks at Pugsley.
Set the bridge on fire.
Iblis' turn. Right.
Stabilize, right? I'm not even doing death saves.
So right around this time outside, you just hear chanting, Gurrash! 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 By this point, you've noticed that this huge orc comes out of the moat, and they're all just chanting his name, and beside him is like a shaman. Again, he's got these glowing arrows, and there's Elvish script on them in his body, but they're all just chanting, Gurrash! Gurrash! And you kind of look out, and they're just all congregating and basically trying to figure out maybe what to do next. But we'll say like combat's done. Oh, Alamandros is there? Fuck, they tie up Alamandros. He's there.
Oh man, it's just tied to the horse. They need to cut him free from.
They grab him and use that rope that Pugsley tied to, and they use it to tie you up. They just have you in their clutches.
Were you
and-
stabilized at least?
I'd still have a death saving throw. The combat's over, so I'm stabilized.
Oh yeah. They tie you up. He's unconscious at this point. So now you guys are sort of in this situation.
I'm a growling bear.
Next hour. We're both unconscious, so...
And go. You're
Yeah.
Depends on how much sleep we get in their care.
Yeah.
Maybe they wait till daybreak to siege.
Like, unless somebody does something, I won't be conscious for
Let's just take a
4
pause. Let's just take a pause for a bit, because I'm gonna have to think about it. For about maybe like approximately an hour or so. During this hour, there's been a lot of back and forth. Like the 7-6 are shooting arrows out, the guards are trying to shoot arrows. Like they're kind of puncturing some of the orcs, and the orcs are kind of pinned down where they are a bit. But then at that hour, you can see that the bear sees. Are you peeking out the window? Zolkin sees, I'm going to do it from his perspective, Zolkin sees that a moment of agitation just flickers across Gurrash's face, and he just goes over to where they've tied up Alamandros and just like picks him up in like one arm, and he's kind of limping. He's been injured and just like holds it up and just yells in common, "Beauty humans, leave the cape or the night is dead." And the orcs are like, "Wah! Wah!"
So the bear, yeah. I mean, at some point, I imagine he took a big bear dump. Just because he could, but slowly in the last like 5 minutes of that hour, you can start to see his like, hair just falls out onto the floor and starts turning pink. His head starts shrinking down. He starts almost growling or roaring, and that starts turning into a human scream. I'm now just curled up in a ball, kind of recovering, breathing heavily. I guess you guys are both out, right? So I'll just keep on going. Blinks open, sees Iblis laying on the floor, runs over, starts shaking him. Iblis, wake up. Iblis doesn't wake up, but you can tell that he's conscious. So he casts Cure Wounds. Put his fingertips on his chest. You can see a green energy move through his fingers and envelop his body.
It was laying on the ground just as a total, like, kind of comes to, shakes off. Are we all in here? What happened?
It's foggy for me too, but man, I think Alamandros has been captured by those orcs.
Yeah, that's not
I've got
good.
a wicked headache too. You gotta figure out how to save him. You've got great ideas.
Yeah, I'm a little groggy too. That whole near-death thing, but he's Just captured it. Iblis is looking around the room just to see who's still here.
You can see that the 7 snakes are almost like some of the fighting and the shooting has stopped. They're just conversing like, what do we do? Like, do we leave the keep? Like, they're trying to figure out what's going on.
I don't know, kid. This is a bit of a pickle that we've got ourselves in. Now we're down to only 5 snakes. So from in here, can I hear the orc guy yelling about killing him or?
Yeah.
And this is to. So did he say what they want?
They stop talking at that moment and look over at you and just say, it's your friend. I don't have good news for you guys, to be honest with you. He looks over at Iblis. We leave this keep, we're all dead. Your friend, forget him.
Whoa.
Maybe we
He's
can.
one of my first friends.
Maybe we can trade the slave for the night. Slave for the night's got to be a good trade, right? Slave, you'd sacrifice yourself for your master, wouldn't you?
Oh, I don't know that I would. Alamandros have failed you. Oh.
Don't worry, man. We'll get him back.
Sylvie's like crying, it's not right. Alamandros, he can't die. Somebody do something.
It's alright. Don't worry about it. We'll get him.
What about the wench? They'll probably take the wench.
What do you mean, wench? This is a disaster. This whole thing's a disaster. Zoltan's like, quiet down, girl. There's serious matters. Man matters. So I'm sorry. Treeleaf was it, and Iblis? I don't think going out is a good idea. But be my guest if you think of something else. We're not moving.
Is Alamandros conscious?
Okay, it's been an hour, yeah. You're like dazed and your eyelids are opening, yeah.
Iblis, can we go talk to them? That worked last time.
Maybe you are good at talking.
I don't speak orc though.
Hi.
But what the one speaks common.
There you go.
Yeah, the one who's calling out to you, who looks like the War Chieftain Gurrash.
That's a good idea. I seem pretty persuasive.
You're, like I said, you're a pretty likable guy, so sure you get down with the orcs too, maybe.
So wait, you're telling me you think it's a good idea to go out there? Because I trust you.
I don't have any other ideas.
Time's up! You hear outside. And Gurrash has returned back. He's got Alamandros, who's sort of half awake now at this point, and says, out of the keep now! And he takes his left hand and puts it over top of Alamandros' skull. It's just like, I crush his head in! He's ripped your helmet off. His black talons are like scratching your head.
As he says that, I open the door, walk out onto the cart.
Orcs all look at you like they're growling. Gurrash is waiting with his hand over top of Alamandros' head and is just like looking at you.
Like I'd say Iblis is standing doorway, holding the door open, but also he's not going all the way up, he's just standing in the doorway.
We just forgot our friend out here, and I just wondering if we could get him back.
Can I roll persuasion?
-2. 17.
17?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him like a wisdom saving throw because he's that dumb. Let's do 20. What is this? Some trick? Well, you've made this very easy for me. His biceps are bulging and red as he's about to crush this person's head, and Alamandros' eyes are opening. A green arrow just shoots like right in front of Treeleaf. It's like a magic green arrow with elvish script on it. Then you hear another. A whole cloud of these green arrows, and you see these wood elves just like hopping over the palisade fence and like fucking guerrilla tactics, just like arrows firing, just murdering orcs. That arrow flies right through Gurrash's head and his head explodes and drops Alamandros, and all these orcs are now like they're trying to like jump into the moat, but the wood elves are just fucking hammering them with arrows. Just heads are exploding. All the orcs are either dead or running off. This one badass wood elf comes in on a horse, just like after all the carnage is dead, and just like fucking takes out a green arrow. Launches it back of the head, out his mouth, an arrow just kills the last orc. He's got this crazy antler helmet on, made out of like the bone of antlers. Flowing leaf cape. And he kind of just looks over at the whole scene and sees Treeleaf, calls out in comment, "You're welcome!" As
Iblis yells at Treeleaf from behind, like, told you it would work!
almost like the ninjas that they were coming in, they like disappear out of the town, and you see the horse, just fucking the guy who's riding the horse, the sick ass bone antler crown, just leave the town and fuck off.
Is he alive?
I guess check that out. Slowly starts to step over the body, so all the orcs are dead.
Yeah.
someone untie me.
Up from where Iblis is, he's casting detect magic as he's looking over the crowd just to see if there's any magical items or anything that maybe the shaman dropped or anything.
All the green arrows, they're still like glowing in the sand. You know that they've been given their power from sort of like a dwarven ruin stone. They've been coated with magic, and they all have elvish script written on them. Like every arrow that wood elves use, they usually have some sort of enchantments that they put on their arrows and messages on them and shit.
I rush over and untie Alamandros.
Oh,
Alamandros, you
is
okay?
that you? Oh, sight for sore eyes and bones and arms and everything. Oh, where's my helmet?
He threw it somewhere. I thought you were gonna die.
What happened? With the stab one fella and then everything. I don't even remember it.
The orcs, they were just on you.
Oh, I imagine that is what happened. Oh, look at them all. Where do these arrows come from? What are these things?
Almost out of thin air.
Wonderful. Help me out, would you?
Iblis yells at you guys, "Get in the keep, we'll catch up later."
Oh, I'm coming. Oh, okay. Are we walking? Let's walk.
Do you have any more of those berries? I don't know when they sprout, but you might have more coming soon. I'd be striving really hard,
Them or not. I
and
didn't write them down,
nothing
so-
is growing on me.
Zolkin's like, lets out a huge sigh, like, fuck, that was fortuitous. Guys, let's get the hell out of here. We're leaving this fucking death trap of a town. It was good working with you, no hard feelings, but we're peacing.
Are the elves and shit like in the town?
They ghosted.
So they shot in, killed everything, and got the fuck out.
Yeah, you would know them as the Wood Elves, our deep forest. So you know that is Rondero home. He's like the leader of the fucking Wood Elves in our deep forest. He's the one that killed Lord Dresden. That was the husband of Cassie Goodheart, Lady Nander.
That was the wood elf leader. I forget his name. Rand, Arrow, Thorn, or Horn, or Reef. I'm not sure, but Rondero or something.
Rondero.
Yeah, I used to trade with him.
I certainly need to rest up, Andor. Oh, goodness. That was a rough shape.
By this point, the town's sort of in a ruin, a little bit, even more so than it was. They lower the drawbridge again. 7 snakes leave. Guards who are left, they're just sticking with you guys for now. What do we do now?
Well, it looks like you guys got a town to rebuild.
Yeah, Alamandros. That was another one of Iblis's plans.
What's that?
You saw when all that came out and then all the orcs died. That was another one of his plans.
This is great plans. Great plan.
Really good plans.
I do it again.
What you do is great. I feel like Alamandros is definitely bummed to see Sora was chopped in half as he walked
Oh,
through
yeah.
on his way up to this.
Chopped in 4.
Oh, so what happened?